All right. Welcome, welcome. How are you, Michael Dean?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right.
Little podcast and dance. It is if you can. Podcast and dance.
That's right. So before we get started, I just would like to acknowledge that there's a lot going on in the world today, and I just want to acknowledge that. But with that being said, let's get the party started. I am not at my regular studio, so I have a little janky setup. So
You on the road.
Yes.
Losing Turner up a little bit.
Yes. All right. Okay, so we are going to get started. Hopefully you can hear me. You can hear me okay, Michael?
Yes, this actually sounds even better than the Old Testament.
Okay. All right. Okay, so
Hey, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't even know. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So week 30 of What Did Chris Do This Week? But before we get started, I'm like beginning how we do things around here, which is say hello to the people. So we got Christy from South Park, Texas.
Maybe turn it down just a little bit.
Just a little. Okay. All right. Hold on. Let's see. So we
Yo, Scotty.
How's that?
That'll work.
That'll work?
That'll work.
Okay. All right. There we go. Okay.
Now we can hear you.
All right. So we got Crispy. It might get really loud again, though. Just the great part. You still good?
Perfect.
Okay. All right. So we got Anna B, Epic Mixtape, record stores, mall hangouts, cafeteria, pizza, neighborhood roaming, school talent shows, and prints. You're doing a lot. Love that, Anna B. And we got Chip and Sparrow from Japan. What did Prince do this week is so important for me because I can learn U.S. history and culture, as well as Prince music every week. Prince Symposia 2, working like a job.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about, Chip and Sparrow.
What's up, Japan? I want to go to Japan so bad before I leave this earth.
Really?
Oh, yeah. A lover of the culture.
Well, my best friend, he married a Japanese woman and he's been living over there, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 years now.
Okay.
And
a racial marriage, I mean, I dig it.
yeah, and being the best friend that I am, I've never gone to visit him.
Wow. But we put him on blast on the podcast. That's how we do it.
No, we've been friends since I was 17, so and a Prince friend too. But I can't get him to come on the podcast. So that's a whole nother story. Okay. Chip and Sparrow also got the America 12-inch and love both sides. That's what I'm talking about.
I love that. The other side is what, Girl?
Girl, yes. And we're actually going to be talking about Girl this week. Girl is very underrated. A lot of folks don't talk enough about Girl. And then,
I remember the first time I heard Girl.
Yes. That, I don't even know if that percussive sound, that I don't.
Drums.
Is that what it is? Because I was like, I don't know what this is.
That's a freaky record.
Okay.
You can play it both ways.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so we got Cassandra Bradley. Good morning, my purpose from the ATL. Got my, oh, look at you, Cassandra. Got my Omar tickets for Monday night at City Winery and at ATL, trying to get an A in D'Angelo's class. And rest in peace to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. He will be missed for sure.
Yeah, real quick, Joe, you stop the music, pause the music for a second.
Sure, yeah, hold on for a second.
Oh, Warner, man.
Okay.
Just real quick, I mean, I'm not like this super, I'm not gonna front like I was following every move he made. You know, of course, I'm watching from afar, but you know, the fact of the matter is, you know, I'm speaking from my generation. We grew up watching Cosby Show, Malcolm-Jamal. That was our brother that we didn't have, or it might have been your cousin, or it was somebody you knew, Theo. That was just like a part of our family. So like, man, that's a heavy thing. When I saw that, you know, I was like, oh, okay. But then I was like, that kind of really fucked me up. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like that's Theo, Malcolm-Jamal Warner. He been solid the whole time. Like, so just to say, man, like was a heavy blow to me. And I forgot how much he meant to me, like what he kind of stood for, what he represented. And then just seeing his age and him with his daughter and stuff, that just hit me on a whole different level, man. I was just like,
yes.
whew. So you never know, but what a good dude. Salute to his family. And the other thing too, I just thought about it, regardless of whatever the Cosby situation. I'm glad I grew up at a time when there was such powerful, positive imagery that was super popular. You know what I mean? Like it was the number one show, but it was us in the best light. And we grew up watching that. Like I can't imagine that. I don't know if they have something like that where you just saw like the top of the top and it was dope and it influenced us, like, different world that influenced us to go to schools and different things. So it's just amazing. We talk about the influence of media and how it can affect culture. Well, obviously that show had a huge effect. And a guy like Malcolm-Jamal Warner was a part of that. And he lived, he made sure to show us him in always his best light. He wasn't in no drama.
No drama. Yes. And Cassandra posted that this is really amazing that City Winery in Atlanta will be having a tribute to Malcolm-Jamal Warner on Wednesday, 8 p.m. That's extremely cool.
Right on.
Yes. All right. So we got Princess Purple Kingdom. We got Cynic at 22. Welcome. We got April Watson from Tampa. Nick Felden from Denver. We got Drea Dances from Hollywood. Look at Drea Dances. Saw Diana Ross at the Hollywood Bowl last night.
Wow. The boss.
Yes, the boss. It was my first time seeing her, and she was amazing.
I've never seen her live. This is one of those icons that I grew up not necessarily paying attention to. I was young, but now looking back, like, God, like I was alive when that, was going. I remember Mahogany coming out and all these different things.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I love Mahogany. Such a great
I don't know if people realize how big Diana Ross was. Like, she was the original like that.
Yes.
Beyonce shit you see now.
Yes.
Diana Ross.
She was the OG. I never thought about it that way. And we got Lisa from H-Town. We got EA from San Francisco. We got Vincent Droid 01 Los Angeles is ready for the Purple High. All the critics love. And we got Dorothy Edwards. We got Democracy Fund Defense Force. I don't know if Celie is going to join us today. And we got Chris Bournay in the house. We got Lovesexy. I don't have my Lovesexy buddy today.
Well, I just give you a consolation. You do got that?
Yeah. And we got our timekeeper. We got Dr. Claw with the purple bars. We got Duke Swan. We got Blade Brown, my literature brother. We have Mila, my heart. And look at Mila. Got their tickets for Sign the Times and IMAX.
Did you give me one? Damn, can I sit next to the seat?
I am so excited, if you haven't noticed, about the Sign of Times IMAX release. That's what I'm talking about.
It's going to be fantastic.
It really is.
I would have never thought that either. Like, Sign of Times IMAX. I would love it, but I would have never thought that.
Yes.
Bring it.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I love in New York, it's at like 6 or 7 theaters. So it's you can hopefully, if you're, I don't know how many theaters it's playing like in Atlanta and the major cities, but
it's a pretty wide release.
Yes.
Pretty wide release. I think it's almost playing the whole week too.
Really?
You go look the next day, and the next day you'll see there are tickets for every day.
Huh. Okay. I got to go back because when I checked the New York Times, it seems like it was just the one day, but I definitely need to go back and check that. And let's again, vote with our dollars and let people know that we love Prince. Prince should be seen in the theater, in IMAX, and 4K, hopefully. So, because he is the greatest.
I wouldn't, maybe it wouldn't make sense. I wouldn't be mad at an IMAX showing a Purple Rain. I mean,
no, me neither. I mean, all the Prince films, except for maybe Graffiti Bridge. Only because, I mean, I
wouldn't be mad at that either.
I mean, I love Graffiti Bridge just in terms of getting people who are not Prince fans into Prince. I don't know if I would.
Yeah, that'd be just for the fans.
Yeah, just for the fans. All right.
But Under the Cherry Moon?
Oh, yeah.
Man, listen.
That's what I'm talking about.
And you never know. That might be coming.
It should be coming 2026.
That might
Yes.
be coming.
And you know, they've already got it on
Can I just
YouTube.
drop a bomb question for you real quick?
Sure.
Have you seen the supposed track list of the parade special edition thing?
No. Is that real?
Well, as I say, it's a supposed, but it is very detailed and it's broken down disc by disc, track by track, and the DVD and the if it's real, bring it.
Because I mean, I thought like at one point somebody put out a fake one, like meaning one of the fans put out one. Like, what's the source?
I don't know if it's real or not. Somebody sent it to me.
Okay.
But when you, I didn't know if it was something that's kind of out there. I don't want to be the one that's like.
Yeah, well, I haven't been on social media, Michael Dean. I'm not in the socials, so yeah, you're gonna have to keep me up to date.
Keep you in the loop. I'll be your source. I'll be your plug.
Yes, you're gonna have to keep me posted. I mean, I'm curious. Like, in my personal opinion, some of the stuff that was on the Sign of the Times Super Deluxe should have been on a Parade Deluxe.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like, if they're going to have different versions of certain songs if they do a Parade Deluxe, or if they're going to forego the songs that are already on the Sign of the Times Super Deluxe.
I will say, I do remember the first disc, obviously, is the regular album, the master, whatever. The second disc is a different configuration of the album.
Huh. Nice.
So if that's real or not, but
I like that. Okay. Well, that's something to look forward to.
Absolutely.
Okay, we got Dr. Claus 77. We got the Boombox Guru from North Carolina. I love my Southern folks. Got to say hello to NC. And yeah, thank you, Anna B. I am in Studio D, probably.
Hilarious.
Oh. Yes. And we got Sister Charles, another H-Town. And we got Dre, what up, though? We got Gabrielle from Down Under, which means Australia. And we got Mooches from Philly. I already know Mooches from Philly. Got another AT-Alien, Audria. We got TP. Missed y'all last week playing Catch Up. We got Man Ray 10. You're at IMAX. I wish I was at IMAX headquarters. All right, let's see. And we got Greg Gomez from Cali. Oh, I'm so behind. We got Raywin. And let's see what Democracy said. Duane taught me in the book that Girl Was First Boy by Vanity 6. Duane told me in the book that Girl Was First Boy by... I'm not following, but I'm a little slow. And it's still...
I can't remember. Maybe we'll cover it. Because I said, I think the song plays as something else if you flip it the other way.
Ah, okay.
Maybe that's what it started at. I don't know.
Yes. Okay. And Vinyl Boy backwards with Vanity. Yeah. So they say like the 12-inch version and Vinyl Boy backwards with Vanity. Okay.
Prince is so damn like intricate and detailed. Like, God, just the mind.
Innovative. Yes. You gotta love them. And we got Theo in the house. And let's see. Oh my God. Let's see. We got a lot of, something I need to do, which is turn on the comments. I wish they would have this automatically turn on StreamYard, where you have to manually turn it on now. Okay, so Princess State is promoting Sign of the Times, which is great, because I still don't understand what's going on with the movie rights. Now another company seems to have the movie rights. Yep, and we got Theo has their tickets. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, Theo, where you seen it at, Theo?
Let us know. And then we got Sneak 22 got their Sign of Times ticket. See, Gabrielle got my tickets. IMAX in Sydney, Australia. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Let's see, Drea Dance's got theirs. Kim is catching the IMAX Saturday matinee on the south side of the ATL. Heavenly Gaines got their IMAX. This is pretty funny. So Nick says we can watch Graffiti Bridge at our private homes. And we got Chris Bournet, because I've never seen it it's amazing seeing it in the theater with an audience. Now, when they did another release, was it 2022? I went to like the Alamo Draft House and saw it. And I was next to this couple who had never seen it before. And I was so into them seeing Prince on the big screen for the first time. They were like wilding out. They couldn't believe it. They were like, it was like a great experience.
Yeah, I hope some young folks get to, for whatever reason, just buy a ticket and just go. I think they're
Yes.
being for a treat, like whoa, and to see it that big, and the sound, that's gonna be incredible for a first time person.
Oh yeah, for sure. So if you have any youngins or even anyone that's younger than you, it means youngin, just take them with you. Take them to see Sign of the Times. It'd be an amazing experience.
I see you, Theo, Northgate. I saw you, Theo. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Northgate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look that. And so Tanja said, hello, Tanja. Got an entire row in DC and Georgetown. Yes, Film Rise, and I've never heard of Film Rise, has the rights to Sign of the Times movie. And look at Theo. See, Theo is setting an example, bringing a friend who has never seen it. I'm so excited to see a reaction to seeing Prince on stage.
They're going to have a ball.
Yes. And Nick says, have to buy my tickets and take the night off of work. And then Blake Brown says, I'm going more for the crowd participation than even the movie. Analyze every beat at this point. But I'm sure there's something for you to discover. That's right, Raywin. They should put Under the Cherry Moon back in movie theaters. Hopefully that will happen next year, 2026, the 40th anniversary of Under the Cherry Moon.
I would say too, I think that, this is a 4K presentation on such a big screen. I don't know if a lot of people have actually seen this movie in such clarity before. I've watch it on the Blu-ray, and it looks so different from what I remember back in the day from watching, just that VHS copy. But to really see the fabrics and the details and everything, hair, it's like there's so much going on just visually, like the detail of what you're looking at is incredible. And he's doing all these moves in this fabric and the boots. It's fantastic. And the way the shirt sits upon, the drummer and the excitement that she has as she's playing the drum. Boy, that blew my mind as a child watching. Can you imagine seeing a crystal clear TL? And you're going to be watching on a 6-story, 5-story screen.
Now, my question, Michael, is what they're going to do about You Got the Look.
Oh, you know what? It'll just run how it run. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll be a thing to remind you of this was made in a different time. So it's a little gritty, but I know that audio going to be banging so hard, and you ain't never heard that coming out on the speakers like that. You're going to be tripping. Like, you'll be so caught up. And then when the next tune that comes on, that's really all I want to see is, I want to, if he was my girlfriend, that bad boy come on the big screen and the music.
With the fan blowing.
Yeah, man.
Fake fur.
Yes.
Or whatever it is.
Wow. Woo.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
My moment is the Forever in My Life That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
That's my moment. And Hot Thing.
The horn break at the extended part of Can Never Take the Place of Your Man.
Yes.
Can't wait.
And it's so great. I mean, I don't want to bring us down, but I mean,
shaking but the bacon.
But what's crazy is we're going to be seeing 3 people on the stage who are no longer with us. Right. Really important people. Prince, of course, Cat Glover, and we cannot forget about Bonnie Boyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Wally. That's what I'm saying.
And Wally, yes. Oh my God, 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immortalized on the big screen. So imagine, like, they would have got a kick out of this if they would have been, like, wow, we about to be on IMAX across the country. I wish they could have saw that. Now imagine, I would love Cat would have saw that. Like, wow. That would have been so dope. It would have been a moment, man.
Yes. Yes, and the Sheila E. drum solo, amazing.
Yeah, man.
Yes, and it's going to be, I mean, the whole movie, pretty much.
Yeah, and salute to everybody in them. Like, this is a dope moment. It's something y'all did years ago, and it's 2025, and it's about to be playing across the country. Salute to everybody in the band, everybody that's a part of it, man. This is fantastic for them.
Yes, yes. All right. So our timekeeper has already put some time. I still don't know how to use StreamYard. One day I will. We'll figure that out. And let's get through our housekeeping with the quickness. So what did Prince do this week? We're going week to week, not date to date. This is our detailed schedule, and you can find it on this bit.ly link or QR code. You do not need the paperback to participate. And I only got my Kindle version because, you know, yep.
You on the run? Like,
yes, I'm on the run. I'm on the
you
run.
on your heat. I gotta be able to leave everything in 30 seconds.
Yes.
All digital.
Yes. I wish I really was like Heat. I remember, Michael Dean, when I could pack everything that I owned in a cutlass. I remember that very vividly. I can't do that anymore, but I really wish that I could. Okay. All right. So let's see. Oh, all right. We got Pretty Ricky.
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening? You know,
well, damn, y'all brought the call one out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Y'all talking about Sign of the Times film, and y'all mentioned A Beautiful Night. Y'all know I had to come in now. You know what I'm saying?
You're laying all that bait for you.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna talk about the Sign of the Times?
I thought I saw it. It's gonna be a beautiful night. If I didn't say that, I am so sorry, Ricky.
Yeah, but y'all can't forget me in the greatest non-guitar playing Prince tune that he does.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Now that movie is a master class in lip syncing, boy.
Oh man,
it really
master
is.
class.
Hey, don't be
spoiling my childhood. Don't be spoiling my childhood.
Hey,
leave my childhood alone. Leave my childhood alone.
Hey, man, I tell you what, cats still study that film though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I mean,
no.
hey,
yeah,
it's still worth studying.
That blew my mind though. The first time I realized that, I was like, what?
Yeah, I was kind of deflated too. I was kind of deflated too. I was kind of deflated myself.
I was like, it's like, okay, this is wrestling. I'm good with it.
Where's the mic is wrestling?
Wrestling.
You know what's sad is the only reason it didn't depress me, because I had lived through when people found out that the Kiss Comes Alive album was like 90% overdubbed.
Oh.
and the Kiss Comes Alive album, like, people don't remember the days that and the Peter Frampton Live, like the Do You Feel How We Feel, and you couldn't escape that. So those two were like and then of course on the black side you had the Frankie Beverly and Mays, and then I think you had the Parliament Funkadelic. Is it in LA or Oakland somewhere?
Oakland.
So like those were like the four seminal live albums. And man, when you talk about people finding out that Kiss Comes Alive was like, cause first they're like, well, it's 50%, and then you start reading the line and those are like, I don't think anything on this record is live. So yeah. So so when I found out about that, I ain't gonna lie, I was shook. I was, but I'll tell you what actually shook. Well, I ain't gonna say it shook me, but it did make me take a step back, and y'all will know that because of my position on things. When I found out that the beat from 777-9311
right.
was Drum Machine, that actually hit me more than Sign of Time. And yesterday, Jackson's Live 81. Thank you. We had that on Reel to Reel. Show you how old my ass is. We had Jackson's Live 81 on Reel to Reel. So yeah. Anyway, that's it. I'll shut up.
Real quick, I think I've seen this somewhere, but the stuff you were just saying, what's the definite live album today? Like, what's the last good live album?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because that was such a part of our thing. Like, there was always the live album your parents or somebody had. That for me, you know, I grew up with George Benson live.
Yeah.
Mom had, you know what I'm saying? And then I had like the Jacksons live with the Triumph thing, whatever.
Yeah.
But what's the live albums today?
Yeah, I forgot about Masquerade and
there probably isn't one. Probably isn't one, Mike. I mean, think about it. It took us to 2002, 2001, but before we got a live Prince record.
That's which is
and then after that, we've gotten like 3 since his transition. We got like Purple Rain live, we got Sound of the Times live, we got
that's true.
What's the other one? Is it 3?
Oh, Glam Slam,
yeah. And we got that live. So I mean, Prince probably has had the most live albums in the last 5 years, more than anybody.
Yeah.
The only live albums I can think of from a previous couple generations would have been like D'Angelo or Erykah Badu.
Yeah. Erykah Badu live.
Jill Scott.
Jill, yeah.
Okay,
like that group.
Erykah Badu did live albums. Yeah.
They had live albums on their first albums.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. You know what? All 3 of them sure did. D'Angelo, Jill, and Erykah had live albums their first times out. Okay.
And then last year was Bilal's Glass House.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Shout out to the Neo Soul crew for holding it down.
Yeah, they
the live thing.
Yeah. But if you
Sadiq had a live album.
Oh yeah, how could I forget? Yeah.
But if you're talking but if you're talking in terms of, let's say we narrowed it to top 10, yes it was, that Donna saw that, yeah. What if we narrowed it to top 10 acts of the last 10 years?
Oh, well then.
If you said, because if you think about all those other acts, but if you narrowed it to say, and so I saw somebody, and so I think Beyonce would be, but how many top 10 acts? Did Bruno Mars actually do, we know he did some live stuff, but did he actually have a quote live album that was for sale?
I don't think so.
You see what I'm saying? So I wonder if you say top 10 acts of the last 10 years, what's the live album looking like?
Man, again, those Neo Soul acts. Like Bilal, Jill, Erykah, D'Angelo, Sadiq.
And there's probably live albums that have been released by artists, but the thing is, did they catch, like, actually relevant to their audience? Did they actually play them albums?
Right.
Did those albums compete with the live? I mean, with the studio versions, as we mentioned before.
That came out in the last 10 years. So top 10 acts who came out in the last 10 years. Right?
No.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, top 10 acts who came out. So what's this? So top 10 who career started 2015 or later.
Oh yeah, nobody. Nope.
Yeah.
I don't even think the music translates for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, music was just mainly just beats and program stuff. The version they do live is probably just the machine and the program vocals and then them talking over it. I don't know if that'd be something you'd want to listen to anyway. Like, it's not really no instrumentation in it, unless it's a specific live band situation. But it's like, how many groups is doing that? So,
And I think you hit it on the point, right? The instrumentation, right? Because with all these people, you want to listen to the instrumentation, you want to listen to the band, you want to listen to the groove, and so I think that's the point right there. And I'll tell you, just not to get off track, but when you said that, I had heard this before from my college students, but when I was doing the master class this week, everyone the students who were under like the college age and down, they all raised their hand and go like, "Hey, do all the Prince's songs take this long to come out?"
Hilarious.
And I said, yeah, because y'all used the beat and then something happened, right? So But when you talk about instrumentation, like, how many of the people actually going just to hear the grooves in the song? So I think that's a good point you make. That's it.
And one last thing I'll add, this is not a diss because I love this person, but I guess that's the same reason why I'm not clamoring, though I think it would be very interesting if you change the circumstances. But there's a reason we didn't get and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there's a Janet Jackson live album, right? There may be some video concerts, but as a sonic listening thing, like, that's kind of my point. Like, well, it's not necessarily, it's a band playing. But I don't know, as you get later on in it, is that a band playing or is it just a program? It's more about the show visually than it would be listening to it. So I think her music would translate hella dope, hella dope. If it was a live dope ass band played the Control Rhythm Nation album and she was really singing, that would be incredible. But anyway, I'm not dissing Janet. Let me be clear.
Now, I'll say this. I've seen Janet live 3 times, and we went probably about 4 or 5 years ago for my wife's birthday. And you know what? It was a good show. I want to say this, it was a good show. But to your point, Brother Dean, I don't remember coming back thinking about the band. In fact, I will say this, and this is going to sound really interesting. I left the New Edition show thinking more about their band than I did thinking about Janet Jackson's band. Now that you mentioned it.
That's who needs a live album. Maybe they have, I don't know, but I could hear a live New Edition, maybe on even a Tiny Desk or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they would be dope to have them with JG. Just thinking about that would be fly as hell.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, but when you mentioned it, New Edition's band is dope. And yes, Sneak 22, much love for Sade's live album.
Yeah. She has some live stuff, yeah.
And in fact, I'm gonna be the person in the minority in this. I probably like Sade more live than I liked her as a studio artist. Like I wasn't.
What's her name again?
I mean Sade. I'm sorry. I said Sade. Sade, my bad. I said Sade. I damn sure did say Sade. I said Sade.
Mike throwing shade on you, C-Lee.
There you go. I said Sade. And I was comfortable with Sade too. Yeah, that Sade,
I ain't gonna let that slide now. Come on.
You're showing your age now, brother. You're showing your age now, brother.
Yeah, really. Look here, look, because I ain't gonna sit here and act like in the middle of the 80s that I was the only one calling that lady shady when she first came out. Don't y'all be in the chat. Some of y'all in the chat old enough. Y'all know that when she first came out in the 80s, if you were from the South, you was calling her Sadie. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I still call her Sadie.
There you go.
That's what I call her.
Welcome to the new power generation.
Mama call her Sade. I'm gonna call her Sade. You know what I'm saying? Mama call her Sade. I'm gonna call her Sade.
Hey,
some barbershop stuff right there.
I was missing or something.
Yes. Okay. So our timekeeper said that we need to be booking it.
Yeah, we're a mess.
My bad, Kim.
All right. Let's get finished with the housekeeping first.
Lord.
All right. Okay. Okay. These will be archived at Polished Solid as well as at MDean. Like Ricky said, as you come in, just hit that like button as you come in. If you're already here, if you haven't hit the like button, please do. We're trying to get, I haven't looked at Michael Dean's channel, so I'm sure there are more views on Michael Dean's channel. But on my channel, I would love to get these shows above 500. We're like middling around 450 or something like that. So if you don't mind hitting, I think Prince deserves over 500 views. I think. All right. So if you don't mind,
and if we can get up to 1,000 views, we'll do a special Lovesexy version where we're all reenacting the Lovesexy cover as we do the show.
There you go, Mike.
So we can get 1,000 views.
That's right.
Everybody go come with some Lovesexy gear on. You know
well, no, we're doing the cover, bro.
We're doing the cover. Oh shoot!
Bring you
man.
Rebirth.
And
Rebirth. How does it feel?
It's gonna be BYOF. Bring your own flowers.
Bring your own flowers.
That's right. Bring your own flowers.
Yes. Position them accordingly.
Oh my God. Yes, this did take quite a turn, Blade Brown.
Hey.
All right. Okay.
Let's get them likes up now.
I love this for D68. Oh no, S. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can get through housekeeping. So please hit that like button though, and help spread the word about Duane's books and Prince's work ethic. Okay. Yes, Kim. Statement power. Okay. Yes, we talked. Everybody's so excited. Yes, we're all excited about Sun Times IMAX. I don't know if you're just getting here, Lady Cab Driver, but we've been talking about that. That's the reason why we're 30 minutes in with the housekeeping, because we've been talking about Sign the Times Live, because we are super extremely excited, over the moon. That's right. Thank you so much, Carol. And Carol says, Michael D. Lovesexy, Pretty Ricky. That's right. Okay. All right. So this is our hashtag. We don't have time for this. This is the Estate of Prince Rogers Nelson is not affiliated, associated, or connected with the What Did Prince Do This Week book club series. I really loved what Kim said last week, that I saved it. And another acronym is, when did Prince drink that water? That's right. Okay. And then, let's see. Community guidelines. We choose to be a community even when we disagree. So we might have some disagreements today, and that's totally okay, because we do this out of love, and we love one another because we are in the Prince community.
Yeah, don't be running TikTok talking about you quit. Don't be doing that. Don't be doing that. Don't take all that.
All right, we started this show like 50 years ago with Time's Gift with Paisley on Paisley Park Records, 1993. Things Left Unsaid. Really love this song. Composed by Donald Deepolis. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Eric Leeds on all these different instruments, and it was arranged by Eric Leeds. We are week 30, but at the 130, I think it needs to be third episode of What Did Prince Do This Week? And this week, Prince wrote 2 songs, and there were 3 studio sessions. Let's look at it. So we have Wendy and Lisa in the studio on Sunday with Carousel and Girl in My Dreams. Then there's some overdubs and mixes of Girl on Monday. And then we got a new song called Call of the Wild. Can't wait to talk about this one, if you've heard it, because it's out in the ether. Tracking and overdubs. And then on Wednesday, it's the other book. Actually, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, it's the other book. And then on Thursday, you got the Good Draws tracking. So a new song. I haven't heard this. I'm curious if anybody has heard this. And then Under the Cherry Moon, orchestra mix. And then Life Can Be So Nice, orchestra mix and another mix. All right. So, let's see what Theo's talking about. Theo said that me and Sydney recently showed the Lovesexy tour to some of our online friends who are not deep into Prince, but have enjoyed the music we have shared with them so far. They absolutely loved it. I love this, Theo. Theo is helping to spread the Prince word. This is what it's all about. And when we're talking about Prince Lovesexy, love it. Love, 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 love.
I had a harem, baby. All the people say.
Yes, I like when he hits that one guitar note and go ding.
Yeah,
that's my favorite part.
I remember the first time seeing that, I was just like, "What?"
Yeah,
you know what? That might have been the first live bootleg to to get circulated. That particular tour, because I remember it was maybe like 35 years ago. I mean, around this time when I first got into bootlegs. Outside of the Black Album, I mean, like first live show bootleg was like the Lovesexy show.
Man, yeah.
And depending on certain shows, right? That note in Prince, for me it was just watching Prince play the blues. So it was like, wow, my favorite guitar player is playing the blues. And then it's funny because I have to go back to this and watching him and Eric Leeds go back and forth with Kat and them trying to seduce her with that. Like that was like a gut bucket juke joint kind of thing. And I just remember seeing that. But I was like, y'all, when I heard that first note, I just couldn't believe. Like it just kind of resonated with me. That's it.
Yeah, man. And there's people that's just getting into Prince. I'm telling you, you'll know what we're talking about when you see it. There are just these moments when Prince does things that just stand out, throughout the years. And that was one of the moments where you just never forget that. Like, God damn, this guy.
Yeah.
Yes, and Theo is talking about that transition from Little Red Corvette into Controversy, scratches an itch in my brain. a lot of the transitions during the Lovesexy Live is really incredible sequencing. And I can't even get mad, because I usually get mad when Prince plays a snippet of a song, but it's like so seamless with some of the transitions that I can't even get mad.
It's a masterwork.
Yeah, those man, a great place to hear those transitions are like the Lovesexy tour rehearsals. And they're going, man, you're like, that's like, if I were a band teacher, that would be a master class. I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna show y'all, like the possibilities of what you could do. Like that thing is like phenomenal.
Man, so I gotta ask you about this, Ricky. Now we're gonna jump into the woods here. There's that one part, it's like during the break part between the two halves of the show, and there's sort of a long stream of music that plays with some sound effects and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? And actually, as I'm thinking about this, I'm thinking about a different part. Excuse me. Actually, this is between I Wish You Heaven and I think it's Dance On.
Okay.
That's some of the most fantastic. When I remember I heard that little section, I was like, man, this is the Prince. I'm like, and it's everything the Sign of the Times band was, but just on another level. Adding a little cinematic flair to it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, man. I mean, man, that period, well, like this period now that we know, what Duane's talking about. I mentioned before, would say like 86. I say like 86 to like 88 was like, man, and Prince's musical growth, like the ride that he took us on was like phenomenal, because you could just hear it. Like you could hear it album after album after album. And then Lovesexy seemed to be the apex of all of that growth in one show. You know what I mean? Just kind of came all out. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Good.
Some people are mad that we're not starting the what?
You know what?
It be like that sometimes.
But I will say this, I'm going to, well, first of all, I think it's a testament to how Prince really moved us that we are still talking about albums and music 40 years later. And if you don't understand that there's a joy right now that we're feeling and reliving this stuff and hearing it in our head, you're missing out. I hear myself, so I think it's you, Ricky. I'm going to mute you while you're not talking, if that's okay. Okay, so I do want to highlight this, and then and we will get into what did Prince do this week. This is so important, Theo. This is where I personally live. Like when I listen to Prince, what I really want to hear more than anything are the rehearsals. I personally listen to the rehearsals more than I listen to albums. So like it's rehearsals, sound checks, live shows, then studio for me. I'm curious about all of you, like when you're listening to a lot of Prince, like, do you like to listen to all of it? Meaning like rehearsals and studio and everything. But I just really love listening to the rehearsals. That's where I live.
Go ahead, Steve.
I would say that I am equal, because I don't listen to individual songs, so I'm equal album and live show. Sound checks. There are some sound checks get a little monotonous for me, because they're rehearsing the show and I get it and he's looking. They and the thing about funk is you catch a groove and you want to stay in that pocket. That's what funk is. If people don't really understand what funk is, you're trying to find the pocket and you're trying to catch that groove, and you want that groove to sustain for anywhere from 2 to 5 to 8 minutes. So that's the joy of the rehearsal for me. Because they're also working on things. Like I know a lot of people like when they hear Prince giving instructions and doing those kind of things. For some reason, that shit just sounds like work to me. Like it's just like I'm like y'all hearing a master doing that thing. For some reason, I feel like Eric Lee. Oh, here somebody. Like, that's like it sound like work. Like okay, I hear that. So I would say I'm equal. Like I listen to all the albums in chronological order. And then I listen to all of the tours in chronological order. So right now I am actually at the Dakota Show Live Out Loud Tour 2013. So that's where I am right now. So yeah, so I'm not as much a rehearsal person as I am a album and live show person. That's it. I said.
For me, I would say this: the Purple Rain rehearsals from the tour, I think, were some of the first rehearsal bootlegs that I ever heard back at early on. Blew my mind. And he was doing the instructions. I was fascinated when he would chastise essentially people in the bands and getting their parts together. I was just like, wow, this is and it was jamming. I just was like, God, they really be jamming. So I fell in love with that. And then the other place where I live, like I'll fall into that bag for a couple weeks and then I'll go listen to studio, but I'll live in Sign of the Times, Lovesexy tour rehearsals.
Yes.
That's just where I live at. Like that's if I just want to be comfortable.
Yes.
I get to hear the songs that I love, but I get to hear them done in the real way they're supposed to be, the extended play, oh wait, play that back again and just jam. All of that space. The Lovesexy rehearsals are fantastic and there's so much of it. And I just let it play. And I love to do the song over again, start it over 3 or 4 times. Just the sound of it is just a part of my experience. So yes, I'm a huge rehearsal fan. And I think once you finally find the one that really speaks to you, it'll be like it's like church or something. Like they're just gonna play all day. You just have revival after revival. You can just let it play. You're like, God damn, you're really stretching that song. You really vibe to it. So I just think when you find your era, man, you're gonna be like, huh.
Yeah, I think that's key, Michael, like finding your era or eras. And actually you can live in those eras for years and not get to other eras. So I totally understand. And I really love that you talked about being a revival. And that's like one of the things I truly miss with my grandmother not being here. I don't go to revivals as much. And so music is sort of my ministry, and being able to just like really do deep dives and really, be in those rehearsals are really great. Okay, so let's get into it because some people really want for us to stop the saloning. But I mean, going back to revival, I to be honest, like for me, every week, this is a bit of a revival for me. Like when I've had a bad week, coming to what did Prince do this week, knowing that Michael, Celie, or Ricky will be here, and when you're all here, it's definitely a revival for me. So I'm so happy that you said that. So this, I know some of you are like pissed off, but I'm loving our conversation.
Oh yeah, we ain't tripping. We're gonna do what we do. We grown folks. We don't listen.
Yes.
Grown folks how to talk. Stop it.
All right. Okay. So let's get into it, and let's start talking about who wants to read about Carousel and Girl of My Dreams, which is July 21st.
I'll go first.
All right, Ricky, let's do it.
Because the 21st is, dear number to me. All right. Carousel mix, Girl of My Dreams mix, Washington Avenue Warehouse, Edina, Minnesota.
That's right.
It says producers Wendy and Lisa, likely, artist Prince and the Revolution, engineer Susan Rogers and David Tickle. Quote, no quote?
No quote.
No quote. Prince had tasked Wendy, Lisa, and Susan Rogers to do a variety of mixes of items from the vault. On this date, Girl of My Dreams, a track says originally recorded in 1982, was taken off the shelf, and a mix was created for Prince to hear, as well as an update of Carousel. It is unclear if Lisa and Wendy had recorded anything new on these mixes. Moving right along, Monday, July 22nd.
Nope.
Oh, stop right there? Okay.
Yeah, we just do one at a time.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Girl of My Dreams, is this a different version than...
So, you know what? Like when I Googled this on YouTube and I started listening to Girl of My Dreams, I realized I was confusing it with All My Dreams.
Oh, okay.
I was expecting to hear All My Dreams, and I was like, this is not All My Dreams. And I was like, oh, this is Girl of My Dreams. So that's, Girl of My Dreams kind of has like a rockabilly feel. There's like a 82 version. So Celie, talk to us.
That's my ish. I love everything about Girl. I need a girl like Laura McCall, old and wrinkled, but she knows it already. Lena smiled, slapped the doctor, said, honey, I'm running things now. Oh, girl, in my dreams. Oh, that is my
that would have fit right in Sinners. If you would have had like a little thing.
Yeah.
Man, look, the first time I heard Girl in My, it was on that bootleg that was black and had Prince on the front with his hand like this. Yeah. And it was yeah, and half of it was the Black Album, and then the half of it was these other songs. Oh my goodness, the first time I heard Girl in My Dreams on that boot. So yeah, so Girl in My Dreams was anytime it's rock and roll Prince, that's just I'm like here. And then it's just out like cause I'm like old and wrinkled but knows it all. Really, really Prince, and of course he gives a Lena Horne shout out at the end. So yeah, that's my
gotta love that.
The question is this version? This says it's from '82, but that can't possibly be the version that we hear, and it segues right into those other 3 songs, right? You guys know what I'm talking about? Like,
no, I don't know what you're talking about. There's several versions of this song.
Maybe I haven't heard this several. Okay.
Yeah. So
I'm just thinking of that sort of live type version with the band. And then it goes into Can't Stop This Feeling I Got.
Yeah.
And then it goes into Weekend Funk. That's what I was
right.
Go ahead, Michael. I'm sorry.
Well, I guess they're talking about a different version. I have yet to hear these other ones.
Yeah. So I got 2 in the accompanying playlist. Okay. The 82 one and I think the 86 one. If they're labeled properly, because I haven't listened to Girl My Dreams in a while. And Blade Brown, I love this comment from Blade Brown. If you just solo his vocals and piano, it'll probably sound just like Little Richard. So I get it like for me it's all of like if you like Delirious, Horny Toad, you'll love Girl in My Dreams if you haven't listened to it, or and I guess Can't Stop This Feeling I Got and those kinds of songs. It fits right in if you were doing like a playlist.
Yeah, it's almost like a vaudeville type of thing or something.
So, and I guess the question is, and I got to go back because I haven't listened to that damn TC Ellis. I listened to that TC Ellis tape one time, and I'm not going to tell y'all what I did with it after I listened to it. But I listened to that TC Ellis tape one time. I'm sorry, man. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. But so he also has a Girl in My Dreams. I'm trying to remember if the TC Ellis Girl in My Dreams is it sampled or based on this one. I can't remember.
I think it is.
Okay.
But like you, C. Lee, I must admit that I haven't listened to the TCS record a lot in my lifetime.
Man.
like when I heard the TC Ellis, and y'all know my position, but when I heard that, I was just like, damn, you could have done hip hop better than this, Prince. Come on, you have to do the people like this. Like, that's a hard listen, man. Anyway, but much props to TC Ellis is a good dude, by the way.
He's amazing.
Like TC Ellis is a good brother, man. So I don't want like to conflate the two, but that True Confessions, look, and then it didn't help that all that my image of TC Ellis is from the Freedom Brand. Man, I ain't even get a chance to rap like that. Man, that's my moment of TC Ellis.
Y'all going too hard.
Somebody said, was I feeling Miss Thang? No.
Man.
So Duke is saying TC's music was different, but the same lyrics.
Oh, okay. So see, I really haven't heard True Confessions in a while.
No, I have not, and I need to see. Can someone see like if it's floating around on YouTube TC Ellis's version? Because I should add it to the accompanying playlist.
What would you take, TC Ellis album, or Carmen Electra, or Death?
No,
or what? Or Death?
Well, don't tempt me with the death. Don't.
Damn.
Don't tempt me. No tip me.
Hey, but that's brutal right there, guys.
I may have to take the tea. Let me put it this way, and this may be not the right place. One of my favorite Jack Benny jokes. The guy walked up to Jack Benny, put a gun at his head, and said, "Your money or your life?" And Jack Bennett stood there and he said, I said your money, your life. And Jack Bennett said, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. So yeah. So yeah,
I'm gonna take TC just because of.
You gonna take TC?
I'm just a brother.
I haven't heard. Like I bought it like when it first came out.
The same here.
And I played it, and I promise I didn't listen to it again after that.
Man, I had the cassette tape. I said, I'm listening to this one Girl in My Dreams. Fast forward to if this sound like some book. Nah, I mean, we don't even, just because I didn't even want to disrespect my ears and what I thought of them people, I didn't even want to listen to the rest.
Okay, I got another for you, brother D. I got another one.
Disrespect my ears.
Okay. So I got another one for you. TC Ellis, Common Electric, and this one you have to go deep in the bag for. The Daisies, Morris Day Group.
Hilarious.
Oh,
man,
I don't
remember the Daisies, the Morris Day Group, the Daisies. And
I'm drawing a blank on that one.
I don't want to disrespect what I thought of these people, so I didn't listen. I bought it, but I was like, I'm not this.
I need my Prince card revoked. I don't know about the Daisies.
I would put the Guaranteed album in that same list, like because I have so much respect for more. I'm gonna buy Guaranteed, but we're not gonna play.
So I want everybody in the chat to go look up the Daisies. There was a Morris Day protege, because I don't want to be the only person who had to suffer through that damn cassette. So
what year, or like this was after, like after what Morris Day album was it affiliated with around?
It was 90s. I can tell you that. It was 90s. There you go, DE688, the Daisies.
It's kind of like New Jack kind of vibe.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, Keith. Was it 88? Was it that early? I don't know why I had it like in 90. Okay, 88. Okay. All right.
Yeah, this is an interesting conversation to have at some other point, sort of the transition from the Minneapolis, how they had to sort of reconcile with hip hop and New Jack Swing and how they sort of changed their sound a little bit. Like it didn't go. The transition was a little rough. Like they all kind of. You know.
I'm laughing at Theo. I'm laughing at Theo's
Cool school. Anyway, we're going down a different.
Okay, all right. Monday. Who wants to read about Girl?
I read about Girl.
Okay. July 22nd.
Girl, overdub and mix, Washington Avenue Warehouse, Edina, Minnesota. I'm sorry, Edina. There you go. Edina, Minnesota. Producer Prince, artist Prince and the Revolution. Engineers Susan Rogers and David Dickel.
Yep.
He sometimes would phone me and give me a list of tapes and say, pull these and give me rough mixes of them so I can listen to them. Girl was one of them. Prince was writing constantly, so he didn't go back into his vaults often, but sometimes something would trigger his memory about a track and he'd seek it out to listen to it with fresh ears. As he had been working on songs with titles like Girls and Boys, it's possible that triggered him to re-listen to the unreleased song he recorded a few years earlier for Bandmates 6 called Boys. The basic track, this is Susan Rogers' quote, the basic track was old. He recorded that a long time ago, remember Susan Rogers, so I pulled it out and did a rough mix. It was never properly mixed. I spent merely 30 minutes on it at the most. He was very happy with it and just made it a B-side. Wow, that's interesting. Prince had last worked on the song in the fall of 1984 while they were getting ready for the Purple Rain tour, but the song dates back to 1983 or earlier. When he took it out of the vault in 84, he changed the original perspective of the song from female to male by hiding Vanity's voice, leaving only his scratch vocals and adding Girl to replace any reference to boy in the chorus, creating a new track. Some additional mixing was done during the session and the song was completed quickly. It's possible that Prince did not attend the session and that it was overseen by Wendy, Lisa, and Susan Rogers. Status: on April 2nd, 1985, Girl, 3 minutes, 47 seconds, was included as the B-side for America. The Vanity 6 version of Boy remained unreleased during his lifetime.
So your status says April?
October. That's April.
Yeah, you said April.
October 2nd, 1985.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Girl. Oof.
So has anyone heard Boy?
I haven't.
No, it says unreleased, right? It says.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm confused about like some of the comments in the chat earlier about playing it backwards because
Because I think the beat is backwards. Isn't? Or am I mixing it with a different song? Like, because isn't it like in the extended part of the song, as you can hear somebody.
Yeah, you gotta get. It doesn't have like that shoot kind of thing in it. So I think that's the thing that people are looking at back with that shoot, and then the sparse. So yeah, I think that because that when it first came out, that was kind of interesting to my ear that it had that kind of backward kind of thing going on.
I really love the melody of that song. It's very, I don't know. It's like an earworm. It gets into it. Oh, so basically, if you play "Girl" backwards, you can hear Vanity say "boy." That's what someone special just told me.
Okay.
That was one of those early 12 inches for me that, hearing that, playing that for the first time, it was so odd in my mind at the time, just because from what I was used to hearing Prince music, and that was one of those songs that I was like, I immediately didn't love it, but it really shook me. I was like, wow, this is different. Just the sound of it. I just was like, it took me a second. I had to keep playing it. And I was like, wow, this is some freaky shit. Like, it was one of the first songs I was like, man, this has got some freaky shit. Like, I have to really listen to this. And then when I really caught it, I was like, oh shit. But go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't, coming behind like Hello, coming behind She's Always in My Hair. I thought it was the weaker of the 3 B-sides.
What?
I can see
behind She's Always in My Hair and behind Hello. Yeah, I mean, I was in like I wanted the up-tempo funk stuff, and it wasn't that. And then especially being on the 21 in the B-side to America,
right?
I wanted something, to match that, and it didn't. But as years went by and I kept listening to it, when I would do my Around the World in a Day era listening, it grew on me. And it has grown on me. But like initially, just being young, not that ears not that musically say mature. I wanted the up tempo stuff. I wanted to hear guitar solos. I wanted to hear bass breaks. I wanted to hear them flex their musical muscle. This was kind of like one of those. It just wasn't that. Of course, but again, it's all it is a piece to the puzzle, to a larger puzzle, and it fits, so it works, and it does kind of now I can't listen to that era and not listen to that song. So
it's interesting. I was gonna say that to me now, that song almost is a precursor to the Sign of the Times sound sonically. Think about it. He could fit in that too. Like wow, okay. He was about to go some other, that speeded up, detune type of that slide shit. I was, okay.
Yeah, I mean, again, a piece to the puzzle. It all plays a part. You know what I'm saying? Piece to a larger puzzle.
I would also say that, and I'm sure everybody on the screen, most people in the chat have heard it, but one of my favorite versions of this song, and I'm getting my years mixed up, it's somewhere between 2009, 2011. Prince played a version of Girl live. And it's a great version. And it also, anytime Prince shows this sense of humor, it's just being silly. So he was getting the crowd to chat and like when everybody say girl, then somebody say boy, and a really deep voice said boy, and Prince said just the girl say that part. Like it was so. But if you haven't heard that live version of Girl, it's a really it's one of those things that we know he got so many songs, so it's really silly to ask this question, but it sounds so good. You go, damn, I wonder why he didn't do this live early. So that's why I think about that. But yeah, so if anybody haven't heard that live version of Girl, like I said, between 2009 2011, check that out. It's a really nice version. That's it. I'll shut up.
Well, Lady Cab Driver said, "Be poetic."
Yes,
and I think somebody else was quoting some of the lyrics above that.
Yeah, be poetic. Tell me what it feels like.
Yeah, sea of electricity. Now that's it was the tone of his voice when he said those words, the way it sounded. I had not heard his voice before, other than what I seen in the movie. So it was so fascinating when you hear him say those in the real time. It was so fascinating. I was like, God, this nigga like spitting bar. He was a poet. Like, whoa, what is this? He's different than what I seen in that movie. This dude seems deeper. It's like it was just a different progression of the lore of Prince, and to hear him say that, it was so fascinating. I want people to miss that.
Prelude to Christopher Tracy.
Well, I was gonna say that whenever I listen to Girl, and I may not have it right, but it seems like there's a part of the lyric to Girl is the poem that he reads when he's in the bathtub in Under the Cherry Moon. I may be wrong, but
I think you're right, brother.
Okay, but I'm thinking, So it's like you said, it's that working into to take Brother Turnbull's phrase, working in two timelines, right? Anyway, that's it.
Real quick, Lady Cab Driver, just that obscure fun fact which they just put on there. I remember watching that program, and when her band went into that, that was one of the baddest ass moments I remember on TV, because this sounded so dope, and I was like, please do that damn song. Yeah, I have to find that. Whoever one of y'all Prince, y'all that put the stuff on YouTube, you'll find that little piece right there. That shit is tight, man.
Oh, yeah. Since when Brother Dean made me realize something, you know how we do the Dear State? Can I do a Dear Chat? Because you just made me realize something.
New one. Dear Chat. Come on, get it right, brother. Come on.
Instead of Dear State, this is Dear Chat. I'm looking for something. When Prince released Cinnamon Girl, there was an uproar on both CNN and Fox News. And CNN and Fox News both did segments where people were on criticizing Cinnamon Girl as hate speech. So if anybody has that or can find, I tried to contact a couple people, but if anybody can find the 2004 CNN and Fox News segment where they are criticizing Cinnamon Girl, let me know, because I wanted to have that as part of my Prince Masterclass, and I wanted to open with that. That's it. I said, thank you, Brother Dean, for reminding me of that.
Okay, one thing I want to talk about really quickly, particularly with Anna B's comment here, is that Prince often had multiple songs with the same title that are different songs. So Girl by the Time is a different song than the Girl that we are currently talking about. So just keep that in mind when we're talking about, so like even when we're talking about Girl in My Dreams, remember I confused all of my dreams with, Girl in My Dreams, and he used dreams a lot. And, it was the original title for Purple Rain, the film, at one point. So like, just be aware that sometimes there is like, what's that? I can't remember right now. Like Love and Sex. Like there's two different songs called Love and Sex. So it's just like, you have to be careful.
This is the tangent show, but what would have been the dream in Purple Rain if it was called Dream? I'm curious.
Oh, the dream of making it.
Remember about making it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there you go. That's what.
Actually,
that would have had a deeper meaning.
So actually, if you have The Beautiful Ones, the autobiography, the incomplete autobiography that Prince started, he actually has the dreams treatment. Well, they have the dreams treatment in that book, and if you read it, it's basically about, Vanity's character, and I can't remember what Vanity's name was in Dreams. And then there's also Morris Day's character and Prince's character, and it was almost more about class, because Vanity was living in the rich part of town, Prince was living in the poor part of town, and so it was about them fulfilling their dreams, and there was other stuff as well. But if you don't have the beautiful ones, thank you, Michael. If you don't have The Beautiful Ones, I highly suggest that you get it, because there's a lot of amazing Like there's some of the handwritten lyrics in there. There's some storyboarding from Purple Rain in there. There's and then obviously Prince's own words, which I think are most important. And it's, even though it's incomplete, it's still worth it. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
I have to get back into this. Okay.
Yes, it is such a beautiful book. I really wish that they would have, the format would have been a little bit larger, the physical size, or I was hoping that they would do like a deluxe version of the book where maybe it was larger and all of that. Because
State, real quick, you don't have to do a big deal. Just do a crowd fund with your fans and just set a price. Say, hey, we need to get this price. We'll make 500 of these super extended versions of this book. You can do that. That's easy, and we'll pay for it. There you go.
Yep.
We'll definitely pay for it because
perfect.
It's one of the most important things. If you're into Prince, I think there's a lot of books about Prince, and we're reading a book about Prince. But for me, it's always about Prince's own words, and Prince's own words are in there. One of my biggest regrets is that he wasn't able to finish it. Because he was very much in a reflective mode. If you watched any or listened to any of the Piano and the Mic shows, so I think we would have gotten a lot of insight, but the universe didn't want us, I guess, to have all that insight. So
could you highlight Sanique's comment? Because I like. Let me just thank you, Sanique. Thank you, brother Sanique, for this. And I'm just going. We're not gonna get into it, because it'll be down a rabbit hole. I'm just going to say this, and I'm only saying this because I couldn't believe I had, because y'all know I don't do a lot of social media, and I don't, just outside. I had like 15 people email me and ask me something, and get something went viral on YouTube. And so that's why I'm glad Sanique put that in there. I'm gonna say this one time and one time only. Prince did not try to run over Michael Jackson in a goddamn car. Quincy Jones made that shit up, and Mike ran with it. Now, we could get into the rabbit hole, and I could actually go down the line and prove to you why that was like it physically and impossibly could not happen, taking you step by step of the James Brown, Michael Jackson frame. But that Will.i.am clip that has gone viral, of Michael Jackson telling him that Prince tried to run him over after the James Brown show. Quincy actually started that rumor, and Mike ran with it. That's all I'm going to say. That did not happen. That never happened. And that's all I'm going to say. We can go back to doing what we're supposed to do here.
And the quotes, the infamous Chuck D and Flavor Flav, don't believe the hype.
There we go.
I missed that one.
It's Will.i.am is telling and I watched it's called Drink Champs or something.
Maybe I did hear. I mean, it sounds like niggas talking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's so far fetched that like when I heard it, I was like, man, that ain't true.
Yeah, he tried to run him over, dog. I seen him. My homeboy seen him.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
It's the same cap as saying like Michael Jackson's a Crip. You know what I'm saying?
Right. He was fighting Tupac. Okay. Right.
Okay, let's move on to Tuesday. Ooh. Who wants to read about?
I got it.
Okay, Michael D.
Ooh. Welcome back. Welcome.
A student raising his hand. I love when students raise their hand and they're ready to rock.
Brother Dean. Yes. Up your nose with a rubber hose.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my God.
Call of the Wild. Tracking overdubs, Washington Avenue Warehouse, Edina, Minnesota. Producer Prince. Artist Prince and the Revolution. Engineer Susan Rogers. Assumed. Quote? No quote?
No quote.
All right. Once Prince returned to Minneapolis, he was probably eager to get back into the studio. Instead of continuing to create pop songs, he decided to try something different. Susanna Melvo had been suggesting Led Zeppelin to him, and they had been in the news because the band just had a historic reunion 10 days earlier at Live Aid. It appears that Prince's reaction to this call of the wild a heavy bass guitar and drum era rocker, the type he had written for a while. I don't know if I read that right. When Prince recorded songs like this, he was very specific about his drums. He liked very clean and punchy drum sounds, a lot of attack, according to Susan Rogers. We take a kick drum and pull the mid range out of it, or all the mid range out of it, very similar to a heavy metal kick drum. He liked a very prominent hi hat and claps to be low pitched, fat, and sustained. He wanted the rhythm guitar to be clean and direct, using really thick 11 gauge strings. It was really hard for me to unlearn Prince. Everything I did after that reflected his ear, for better or worse. That's very interesting. Yeah. The song expressed Prince's observations about how others view their sexual behavior and their devotion to God by calling out a message to his fans to be strong and celebrate that they are free. He criticizes the 9 to 5 people about their lack of understanding of his philosophy on sex, freedom, and love. He struggled with being ethical, with being graceful on a human level. He dealt with a pure, unconscious mind that was unfiltered to get his needs met creatively, reveals Susanna. Get his sexual ID created, fulfilled. All of it. Oh, sorry.
You say sexual id.
Oh, sexual id, excuse me. Created, fulfilled, all of it belongs in the same area of creation for him, even religion. His creations, sex, religion, all of it comes from his inner world, his inner mind. And that's the guy I know. That's the guy that he knew I knew. Prince put the song on the shelf until autumn when he updated the mix. Status, Call of the Wild, 5 minutes and 5 seconds, remained unreleased during Prince's lifetime, but elements of the song were repurposed for the unreleased We Got the Power when it was recorded in October of '88. And I will add that it is on that leaked track list that I saw for the parade. So maybe it is coming out.
Okay,
All right,
before we start, this is really important what Lady Cab Driver put in the chat. A lot of people know this song by the name 9 to 5 People.
Yeah.
But the bootlegs, when we didn't know what the name of the songs were and people were guessing. So we're talking about 9
like
to
all
5.
The songs we named Natural Selection. Like all of them, the songs was Natural Selection, and we didn't know which the hell one it was.
Yes.
Didn't they play the song at Celebration or something not too long ago? I thought that was one of the songs somebody said they played.
Really?
Yeah, that Call of the Wild.
Maybe.
Wasn't there, so.
Yeah. So, okay. This song, and if you haven't heard it, it's in the accompanying playlist. And if you haven't heard it, I really beg you to seek it out and listen to it, because it is rock Prince. I mean, like hardcore rock Prince. And that's actually what I was longing for in real time. And if this would have been like released as a B-side, I would have totally lost it. Yeah. It would have been so amazing. And I wonder why he never released it. And going to Ricky's point about Girl, I could see where this would have been an amazing B-side to America, Call of the Wild. So I'm curious, like, how you guys feel about it. You know, like, it's interesting that I didn't realize until Duane's book about, you know, the Led Zeppelin reference. And I'm really into Led Zeppelin. And if you haven't watched the Led Zeppelin documentary, highly recommend it that you watch the Led Zeppelin documentary. But I actually get more of a Jimi Hendrix Band of Gypsy vibe from the track. So I'm curious to hear what you guys, how you feel about the track.
Quickly, I'll just say, I heard it for the first time a couple years ago, blew my mind. Like you, I was like, how did this not come out? To me, it's one of them anthem type songs. This would have been a song I would have saw him start a concert with or start an album, and would have been like, you know, planting the flag. Okay, this is the vibe, you know. And to me, you know, it's interesting when I hear the rock thing. I took it as this was on some we will rock you, but it was the black, it was funk to me. Like I thought the beat was almost a hip hop sort of like I got my ear, I can hear y'all over here, but I'm still Prince. I'm still, it's still Dirty Mind, still Breed. It was like I didn't even know he was doing that type of stuff at that point. I thought he would have left that behind. Because to me, this record is like an anthem. Let's go crazy, 1999. We gonna do our thing, and then the way it sort of the band gets into the groove at the end was just like, yeah, that was that complexity that I was starting to hear with Sign of the Times, but they was still right. Like he could have did this and then went right into bam, 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 boom, boom. Send me your call. Like I was like, okay, he on some other shit. Like, so to me, this is a fantastic record. I can't wait for this to come out because I think this is one of them no-brainer going on my forever Prince playlists. Okay, yep, this sits right up there. This would have been one of my favorite of all time if it would have came out back then. So, anyway.
So before we go too far, I mean, because the comments are coming in, I don't know about this interview, or if I did, I've forgotten it. Does anyone know about this?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those where it was interesting because just to hear him say that, but I remember because I was like, that would be interesting. Where could I use? Because like when we're doing research, you're always thinking about where can you use that, where can you put that. And that was something I just kind of filed away, but never was able to do anything with. But I did think it was interesting about him, just hearing him say that about his solos attached to anger. And that's one of the times where, to me, bad journalism. Because I think a good journalist should be, that's something you expound upon. Right, that's something you as a journalist, you say, can you tell us about specific songs where you're channeling that anger? Can you tell us about, is it certain movements? So the reason the article didn't do as much for me was because I always felt like the journalist missed an opportunity to really have Prince expand on both playing, but also expand on how his music sonically was also like phonetics, right? Sound with meaning. And so that was the one thing I took from that article was the journalist could have done a better job having Prince really talk about that. That's it.
So what year was this interview?
Oh, don't make me lie about that.
Okay. So was it Cynic? Yeah. So Cynic, can you what year? Can you put that in the chat? Are you talking about? So this comment from Modernaire about Gold Experience, and we're going to be doing a Gold Experience / Exodus symposium in September 20 and 21st. So be on the lookout for that. For me, Gold Experience was actually not funk rock for me. Like for me, it was more pop rock or rock pop, whichever way you want to put it. And for me, Call of the Wild was more funk rock. So for me, Call of the Wild and Gold Experience are two totally different genres. I don't get the same kind of feel. So I'm curious, like, are you guys with Modernaire in terms of, Gold Experience being this funk rock and maybe adjacent to Call of the Wild, or do you hear the distinction that I'm making?
So when I discuss Come and the Gold Experience, I don't discuss them how they were released. I talk about them in my book. I try to do as much research as I can to give y'all what I think the Gold Experience was intended to be before he had to do all of the maneuvering with Warner Brothers. And I think that what's missing from Gold Experience that could probably help Modernaire's point is, I can't remember which one, because like I said, I've been listening to it this way. Which one is missing? Is Endorphin Machine or Interactive missing from the Gold Experience?
Interactive.
Okay. So when you look at, remember the Beautiful Experience, when we got the Beautiful Experience video, right? The thing with Known to Gay. And then we had the Beautiful Experience, remember the little CD-ROM game. And then we had all these things. If you look at it from that way, the opening for the Gold Experience should have been Interactive, Endorphin Machine, Peak Control, and then Acknowledgement, right? Also, The Ride does not actually officially appear on the Gold Experience, and I don't think it was ever planned to appear on the Gold Experience. But to Modernair's point, I can go with Modernair if and give me the one again, which doesn't
Interactive.
If Interactive actually opened the Gold Experience, I would agree with Modernair. But because Interactive doesn't appear, but so to your point, in September, when we get to the symposium in September, that's what I'm going to be discussing in my presentation, is what I think the Gold Experience would have been had not Prince had not to make all these concessions with Warner Brothers. That's it. I'll shut up.
I was going to say, to me, so what is the question again? We're saying, is the Gold Experience compared
So for me, actually, let me go a little deeper. I won't go too deep, but sometimes when Prince did rock, I felt like it was more pop rock. And then there are certain times when Prince would do rock, it would be more like funk rock or rock funk, like with more heavy bass, and versus pop, which seemed to be more like pop arrangement, like more major chords, versus funk rock, more minor chords. And so for me, Call Wild is funk rock, and I see a lot of songs on Gold Experience as pop rock. So, and I get a different vibe from it. So like and I lean towards funk rock, like, more bass, more minor chords and things of that nature. So I was asking, like, do you guys hear that distinction?
Stay on your point. Stay on your point, because then I want to ask you a question.
No, I'm good.
Oh no, because I'm gonna ask you a question that's to the point that you're making.
I said what I need to say.
Okay, because I was going to ask you, what do you think about, because the other song that's missing from there that I think should have been on there was Rock and Roll is Alive. Do you see that as pop rock or funk rock? Rock and Roll is Alive.
Pop.
Okay. Okay. I get your point.
Well, I would say, and I understand exactly what you mean. I look at it this way. For me, the Gold Experience, if I was just getting into Prince during that time and I heard that album, or even if I maybe got into him later, I would think that the Gold Experience is one of the greatest albums of not only that time period, but of Prince. But because I started listening to Prince a little earlier on and have been through a couple of different waves of him, I acknowledge that that's badass Prince, but my ears and everything that I love of Prince is so associated with what D'Angelo is talking about, the difference in terms of the sounds, not necessarily the musicianship, but just in the way that it sounded, and the way he was playing it slightly was a little different when he was younger, even back then. That I just hear the newer stuff a little different, and I can't not hear it that way, only because I've listened to it in this timeline. If it would have been the first thing I heard, are you kidding? Like, that album is all over the place stylistically, and it pretty much kind of kills every style that it does. And for him to have not been a new artist at that time doing that is fantastic. There's no other legacy artist that would have been around as long as he had been around at that point that would have made an album that was a contemporary album that dialed into the rock funk, dialed into kind of hip hop, dialed in the R&B, dialed in the jazz, and at a master level. And it was some wild storytelling, interactive, it was just a concept album that you could barely understand. Billy Jack Bitch, like, it was all of these different styles, and he nailed that. That's unheard of. But because I heard Sign of the Times, Parade, Controversy, Purple Rain, it was just another notch on the belt to me. It wasn't the head buster that I know that album is. And then if you take all of the material that's from that period, that's probably some of his best if you take the best of Come and this album and the
Exodus,
Right the Wrong, Exodus, and all of that stuff, this is bananas. Like this, he's really on fire. It was just that I was looking at it from a different way. So my point is to say, graffiti, the Gold experience is worthy of the conversation, but I just think it depends on where you come from and how it came to you, how it may not be as headbuster as something else you probably saw. If that makes any sense, and I'm done.
No, I think that makes sense. And I think for me, the opposite was that because I was so angry about what was happening with music, I leaned into all of the anger that Prince, like I felt the anger. So for me, Chaos and Disorder, the Gold Experience, Exodus, those 3 albums, Chaos, let me say it again, Chaos and Disorder, Gold Experience, Exodus. Those 3 albums were articulating the anger that I felt what was happening in music at the time.
Would you throw Come into that? I would throw Come as a part of
that. So yes. Come is more sorrowful than anger, though, right? So I always put Come as more, but taking them, so yes, so Come. So I'm with you. I'm that 93 to 96, that 93 to 96. So right after the Love Symbol album, right before Emancipation, like however we want to chop that up, that between the Love Symbol album and Emancipation, I was so back in love with Prince. Like when it was amazing for me that at that point where Prince was probably going to his commercial low point, I had my middle finger in the air during that period, because like you said, it was endorphin machine, it was interactive, it was like I said, all the Chaos and Disorder. It was Days of Wild. Like for me, did nothing go harder than Days of Wild. Tennis shoes and cats, now that's fact. Until the day they want, let me have you back.
That's what I'm saying. He had it all, man. He was
God bless America, home of the brave. Oh my God. Yeah. So yeah, so that era of Prince for me, I get what you're saying, that if you were on that ride, for a lot of people, it was kind of been there, done that. But for me, all the anger that I had about the music company, the music business, he was articulating all of that. I'll shut up.
Yeah, the problem is if we just didn't get it when we should have. If we would have got it when he was doing it, he would have it would have been his greatest era of all time, but it just got politicked out. You know, the politics took over. It's a shame that the politics took over his situation at one of his highest points in music in creativity.
Yeah.
Can you put up the thing? We're a community even when we disagree.
Yes.
Can you put that up?
Hold on 1 second.
Byron B. With that look like Dallas Cowboy helmet in your icon. You got that Dallas Cowboy helmet. Byron B. All I'm gonna say, Byron B. is I 100% disagree, but you have a right to feel that way about Chaos and this. There we go.
Hey, Byron B. I felt like that when it first came out. I felt like that.
So.
I was wrong.
I just want to say, I think Call of the Wild sounds more like Jimmy's Band of Gypsies.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And Led Zeppelin, that Led Zeppelin reference is almost like that Beatles reference for Around the World in a Day, thing and all of that type stuff. So I just that's all I want to say about that. Like that's my point. I think it's more I think when I hear more Prince's heavy guitar stuff, I think more Band of Gypsies than anything. I was listening. I was just waiting to make my point.
Rick said this is all being an amen. This is an amen corner. Y'all don't understand the culture.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Co-signing my homegirl. You know what I'm saying? Co-signing my homegirl.
You didn't have to show that comment, D'Angela.
I just have to play with Ricky. Ricky knows I love him. But I mean, but I'm glad that Ricky amen and second me because stop. But I hear you, Ricky. Actually, now that you've reiterated that point, one of the things I didn't say is I think that one of the reasons why he didn't release it is because, I mean, when I listen to it, I hear Hendrix, and you know, he didn't really want it to be affiliated with Hendrix, you know, because he wanted to be his own man, right? So, but I do like hear it. When I was listening this morning, the first thing that I thought of was the Band of Gypsies when I was listening to it. So, yeah.
And what's interesting is that's one of the very few songs that I listen to out of order because it sounds more like, to me, it should be Black Album, Lovesexy, Prince. Like when I listen to it, it sounds black. Yeah, it sounds Black Album, Lovesexy. So I listen to Black Album and Lovesexy as a continuous like double album, and so that's actually where I have it. It's the only song, because I don't like songs, you know, and I think you mentioned this too, probably. I used to hate when we get the bootlegs and the picture on the bootleg went from the era of the bootleg. Like for some reason that bothers me. I know it shouldn't, but that bothers me. So Call It a While is one of the very few Prince songs. It just sounds so Black Album, Lovesexy is to me that I listen to it there, though I'm not mad at it if people listen to it in its rightful place in the parade kind of era. That's it. I'll say that.
Seeley, you say you don't like the bootleg where it has the live parade picture on the cover, and then the album is Emancipation Remix.
I can't stand that, man. I can't stand that. And I know it's petty.
Co-sign that. No.
All them Kirky J remixes.
Man, you ain't petty with that one, brother. You are not petty at all, man. Not at all. Trust me, I'm with you on that one.
Hey, Sneak 22. I actually mentioned Thin Lizzy in my Prince Masterclass last week. So shout out to Thin Lizzy. People don't know about Thin, because actually the reason I mentioned Thin Lizzy is because from 1978 to 1989, 1977 to 1989, for a 12-year period, no Black artist appeared on the Billboard Rock Top 100, and no living Black artist was in heavy rotation on any rock radio station. So Thin Lizzy, because they had a lead Black singer, so Thin Lizzy was the last Black act, or the last act with a Black artist in 1977 to have a hit on Billboard's rock chart until Living Color and Lenny Kravitz did it in '89. So there was a 12-year period of Black people missing off the Billboard's rock charts and played in heavy rotation. Living Black artists played in heavy rotation. So I know Sneak 22 is joking, but yeah, Thin Lizzy is very important when we're discussing music history and Prince. That's it. I'll shut up.
All right. So there's several, and I hear, is that you, Silly? I'm hearing myself. I'm going to mute you just because I hear myself doubles. So there's 3 comments I want to go back to. One is from Theo, and I think this is, I can't have this perspective because I was listening to this in real time. So I find Theo's comment very insightful, in that because Theo started his listening post Prince, every album was new for me. So nostalgia and the real time perception doesn't cloud my judgment of the music. And I think that is a really amazing place to be, just to hear the music on its own terms, especially during the 90s when there's so much just rhetoric and like the idea of a throwaway album. Like Prince didn't do throwaway albums, in my personal opinion, because Prince really cared about his music. Like he said that they were like his children. So I don't think that Prince thought of his albums as throwaway. So I know that there's like these continuing narratives around certain albums like Come and Chaos and Disorder as being like contractual obligations and also throwaway, but that just doesn't translate for me personally.
Can I ask Theo a question?
Sure.
I have a question for, not just Theo, but anybody in, say, the chat that kind of came into Prince later. Do you feel rushed listening to albums? Because like for us, getting them in real time, we had like a year to like digest certain projects, getting into an artist after they've, transitions, say whatever, I know, like for me, I got into Miles Davis right before he passed away, and I was like, I found myself kind of like, once I listened to like Kind of Blue, oh, let me go listen to Miles Smiles, or let me listen to Bridges Brew. Not letting it, not really. I let them digest, but not maybe as I would have had I got into them like in real time. Had I been born at the time they came out, and I would have had to wait a year or 2 years for like the next new release to come out. So I guess my question is, like, with so many Prince releases at your disposal now, do you kind of like go through them rapidly, or do you take your time and go through them? Is there like a rush period? Like, do you find yourself rushing through certain releases, or like, do you find yourself kind of really sitting with them for a certain amount of time before you move on to the next one? I'm just asking because all of us like to, like with this period, we had like a year, before Parade came out. And so like we could, like really sit with Around the World in a Day. When we were done with that, we could always go back and just, like keep re-listening to the, like the catalog, which wasn't that deep. It was only 6 albums, like 7 albums deep at this point. Seven Prince albums, 3 Time albums, 2 Sheila albums, and a Family album, and then a Vanity, and then I think Apollonia 6 albums. So like we could digest that stuff kind of easily because it wasn't that much. Now Prince has a lot, and how do you go through that? Kind of getting into that. That's just my question. Sorry if that was kind of long.
No, it's not long. I know, like for me, like in fact, I just spoke with one of my alums. He's been out at least 10 years, if not longer, and he started listening to Prince when Prince passed, and he listened to all the albums in sequence for an entire year, and then he re-listened to them again, and then he went through the Protege albums. Making a long story short, he just went to Paisley Park like a month ago, and I had a Zoom call with him, and he was just raving about how amazing it was to be in Paisley Park, and he's still continuing to do what I call the loop, meaning like he's taking Celi's approach of just going through all the albums in sequence, kind of in a loop. Okay. So like that's I know the way that he's approaching it, but I'm curious if there are other approaches in the chat. So dear chat, as Celi said, let us know if there's a way that you're listening to Prince. I mean, I'll tell you my problem, and I've already said it earlier today, is that I just get locked into certain eras and I just can't let go, meaning for a year. Like I might be in 88 for a year, if not a year and a half, and I don't really want to listen to any other Prince. So that can be a con as well as a pro, because, like I remember Scott Wood saying that, especially when it comes up to symposia time, like when he did his presentation on Solo, like he said he listened to Solo on repeat for a week. Like, I don't know if I could just listen to certain songs. I could listen to It's Gonna Be a Beautiful Night on repeat for an entire week, but I don't know if I could listen to Solo on repeat for an entire week, just because it affects the way I feel. Because like music basically changes my emotional state. And like, if I want to be up and a song is bringing me down, I don't know if I could do that for an entire week, but that's just me.
Yeah, well, I would say I think as Prince fandom and the Prince music and time goes on, and as we get further away from his being alive, and the material is so big, I think the way I would look at it is the same way. Like another thing that I love is like Star Wars. Like you can watch Star Wars movies in the order that they were released, and that's going to give you a certain story of listening to that material, of watching that material. The same way where you can listen to Prince's albums in order if you want, it's going to give you a time period. But the same way with Star Wars, you could also watch them in the way that they're actually numbered, which is different from the way they were released, and it would tell you a different version of that story from a different timeline but it's the same story told differently. So certain things being held back that you didn't know, and vice versa. And I think with Prince, you could do the same thing. If you were as a young person and maybe you just heard this one thing and it spoke to you because it was in this style of music that you like, you could listen to Prince that way. You could just be listening to the greatest hits and have the time of your life. And you would be right in line with pop culture of, of the world to understand what Prince is on just a basic level. Or you could be the one that you love a good story and you love a progression and you start at the beginning and work your way. There's a whole world there. It's like a book series. There's spin-offs. You can jump into that. So I think it works either way. For the ones who only listen to Purple Rain and Diamonds and Pearls, that's enough for their life. They'll get everything that Prince is about, at least in the sense of what it makes you feel like. And then there'll be those who really want to, I need to do it all, and they'll have the time of their life. Like that, I just think it works either way. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. At this point, you're never going to get the in real time and also being in the conscious of society of, and then when those records were released and how they meant what it meant to see Purple Rain when it came out can never be duplicated if it's released today. There's just no, you already seen Prince before. You've already seen the effects of Prince in other things. But when Prince first came out, I didn't see that in nothing else. So that was a head buster to me. If you showed it to me later, oh yeah, I've already seen all that before. I've seen other people do it. So it's not that big of a deal. Same with when you see a movie like Dune, where you've already seen Star Wars and all these things that pulled from it so much, it sort of takes away when you might see Get Off. Like, you don't understand why the Get Off performance is so crazy. Yeah, it's a black man with his ass out, but I would argue in today's world, that's not really a big thing. But at the time, it was unheard of. So I think you'll never get that part of Prince. But I think for those who want to do the whole journey, if they listen to it in context of what was going on in society, they're really going to get something out of the music, because you're going to hear why Prince is mentioning the I don't watch Dynasty. You may not even understand that Dynasty was a popular TV show when you hear the song Kiss. But if you go back and study what's going on in society, and you're like, oh wow, Prince was paying attention to everything that was going on. These aren't just pop songs. There are little things in there. So I think there's a great way of listening to Prince. And anyway, I'm done.
Brother Dean, can you do me a favor?
Yes, sir.
Hit the shake button for me. Shake. Hit it one more time. Shake. Those guys will know this is why I had Brother Dean hit the shake button. For all of the notions about a certain album being filled with throwaway jams that Prince just did to get out of a contract with Warner Brothers, how can it be an album of throwaway jams when Chaos and Disorder, I Like It There, Same December, Xana Lee, 4 songs from that album Prince continued to play live throughout his career. So I need all of the people who are saying Chaos and Disorder was a throwaway album with songs that Prince cared nothing about. How can you make that statement when we have evidence that Prince continued to play at least 4 of those songs live for the remainder? See, the logic isn't logical. Like it just. So again, if you don't like Chaos and Disorder, fine. I'm not. I want to be clear. I'm not here to make anybody like any particular Prince songs. But this narrative that Chaos and Disorder was just a bunch of tracks that Prince didn't like, that he gave to get out of a contract. Thank you. Like, the math ain't mathing, because 4 of those songs he played for the remainder of his career. And as somebody put, he also made videos for at least 2 of those songs. So it doesn't make, so the whole thing that, if you want to say, I don't like Chaos and Disorder, fine. There are a lot of songs. I'm not a big Hit and Run Part 1 person. Like you're not gonna ever give me to say much love about Hit and Run Part 1. But Chaos and Disorder, 4 songs from it, played live the entirety of his life. That's it.
What about JD Washington's comment?
Well, Prince was trying to get out of that contract. That's what. So JD, I think I'll give brother JD that. Prince was trying to get out of the contract, and if getting out of the contract means I'm pissed off at Warner Brothers, they're holding up what I want to do. So yes, that goes over into it. But the bottom line is he played those songs live. That's why I had Brother Dean play Shake, because the time played Shake live. Let's move on.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, he took his craft seriously. So I never thought the stuff was throwaway myself either. You know what I'm saying? And I think because he took his craft seriously, he may not have taken Chaos and Disorder as serious as he was, whatever he was feeling at that particular moment. But to see Lee's point, another amen corner, he thought enough of those tunes to keep playing them. So like I agree, like it wasn't a throwaway album. It just wasn't one of the ones that he was go tour and support like that. But it wasn't a throwaway album. I mean, by no stretch of the imagination.
Okay, going back to the previous conversation, Theo said, I think I did kind of rush through the albums when I first got into Prince, but I have since gone back and have really sat with each album.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Crispy, you're right, but you can say about a lot of albums. I was mad that Electric Chair wasn't played on the new tour. I think it was a missed opportunity. So, yeah, but you can say it about Batman. You can say that about Graffiti Bridge. Like, there are a lot of albums where Prince only played 2 or 3 songs. If the argument would be those albums were throwaway albums too. If we're judging it by, so we're saying that Batman was a throwaway album. We're saying Graffiti Bridge was a throwaway album. So to say that he played all of the songs from Diamonds and Pearls, but not from others, that would then you would be saying. I'm not saying you're saying that, by the way. I'm just saying for that analogy, you would be saying that those albums are throwaway albums as well. That's it.
Okay. So Modern Air is reminding me, even though we have one more, we need to read one more thing, which is about You Got the Good Draws. Who wants to read about that? Thursday, July 25th is our last reading.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Do we read the quote from Eric Leeds?
Of course, we always read Eric Leeds.
We'll read Eric Leeds' quote. You got the good draws. Tracking overdubs, Under the Cherry Moon, orchestra mix. Life can be so nice, orchestra mix. Life can be so nice, extended mix. Possible tracking, overdubs mix. Washington Avenue Warehouse, Edina, Minnesota. Evening into the next day. Producer Prince, artist Prince, engineer Susan Rogers. Eric Leeds quote: Prince's approach to playing jazz was a little different from his approach to playing anything else. At times, he had a great sense of spontaneity, particularly in jam sessions and also often in our club after shows. But once he started to formalize something, I often felt that his determination to control everything worked against it being allowed to find its own way in a more orthodox jazz sense. Okay. During these free-form sessions, Prince would call out a new key and tempo, and everyone in the room would keep up. He'd often experiment, but even in those jams that expanded his musical language, he said relied on what he knew and grew from that base of knowledge. Susan Rogers recalled how Prince explained his musical roots. We go read that or skip that or
go ahead.
I'll read that. Okay. Prince used to talk about the streets you lived on. By that, he meant the music that is your home base, that music that feels the most right to you. It's a voice that when you hear it, you just know these are my people. This just feels right. I think Prince was on to something when he said home base. It's the street where you live. Now, that said, he believed that we can visit other neighborhoods. We can also love other music that's not our home base. whether it's salsa or jazz or it's folk, rock, or just whatever. You can visit other streets, but there's something you're always going to love best about your home base. I like that. There were several instrumental jams, but one got a little more attention when Prince ad-libbed a few lyrics on a loose groove he referred to as "You Got the Good Draws" or "Good Draws." The players included Eric Leeds on sax, Susanna on keyboards, and Prince. What was unique about this session was that he was playing without his usual drummers and was trying H.B. Bennett on the skins. H.B. Bennett was a complete antithesis of what kind of drummer that I thought Prince would have dug, because Prince was a drum machine guy, and Sheila and people like that are on top of the best beat players. It details leads where like HB was much more way laid back behind the beat. Now his timing was impeccable and he swung his ass off, but he'd have had a fat sounding snare drum that was just a little bit behind the beat that I thought was going to not be where Prince lived. When we did that Good Draws jam that night, Prince came to me afterwards and said, "Where'd this guy come from?" Well, he's my best friend. We played in bands for years. He's my closest thing to a brother that I have other than Alan. HB is a drummer and a musician, and he basically says, "I'm the drummer. I control things here." He'd say, "You may be the captain, but I'm the navigator. I'm the one that gets us from point A to point B. You tell me where you want to go, and I'm the one who gets us there." And all of a sudden, here's a guy who was basically taking the reins, and Prince was like, "Holy shit." Prince and Susan Rogers would also work on the Claire Fisher orchestration mixes for Under the Cherry Moon and Life Can Be So Nice. It is possible that a longer version of Life Can Be So Nice was created during this session as well. Status: You Got the Good Draws and other jams recorded on this date that remained unreleased during Prince's lifetime, although it is likely that some of these elements turned up later in work by Eric and some of the later Madhouse songs. Side note, H.B. Bennett was considered for the live unit for Madhouse for the Sign of the Times tour, but he was later scratched.
Do you know why?
Per the Uptown article that Duane did, Prince wanted a more funk drummer, so he got Dale Alexander, and H.B. Bennett was a little bit more jazzier, and so per the article, Duane said that Eric said that Dale was more closer to Prince's style of drumming, and so he went with him.
All right. So obviously I haven't heard You Got the Good Draws. I don't think it's circulating, but that doesn't mean that it's not circulating, because some people have things that other people don't. But I've never heard it. And, obviously Unchair Moon, Life Can Be So Nice, Claire Fisher orchestration is so critical for me for all the songs on Parade. So I'm very happy that Claire Fisher got in the mix for Parade. Does anyone have any comments about Good Draws or Unchair Moon, Life Can Be So Nice?
I will say I have not heard the song. I was trying to find something. I just like just based off of what you were reading, Rick, and I love hearing about these types of sessions. I love looking back, like Prince was a master musician, and this is well within his journey of just what he's doing. And it's just like, man, they were in the room with, something that doesn't happen very much in Lifetime, where a guy is that good. He's that young. He's a pop star. He's a superstar, but he's not afraid to sit down with real life musicians. And it's not an easy thing. What I mean? It's like we're not just playing easy shit. Like, we're doing some stuff in here that's different. Like, he wants to play some jazz. Like, I thought he was just gonna be doing the R&B. So I love that he's just able to be in there and he's not afraid to go wherever he feels like going, man. And the shit be dope, So I just love it, man.
Okay, so actually,
So I like that. Can I say something again? I just like that that analogy about the street that you live on.
Mm-hmm.
Home base and then visiting like other musical neighborhoods. I like that. Like that's to Mike's point, that's just a genius, just tells you the level of the musicianship where he was, where he could kind of, like recognize that very early and let the people like around him know that, and then working towards, he visited other neighborhoods and wasn't afraid to visit other musical styles and try it out. And he could kind of, be fluent at it.
CD 4, The Vault Part 2, disc number 4. You got the good draw.
Okay.
What?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So this is a question for the fellas from El Michelle. Do y'all still use the term draws? Signed, Curious Sister.
Depends on what the draws look like. Serious.
I would also say that I haven't used it actively, but I've been with the same woman since 1991. So, since I've been with the same woman since 1991, no. But before 1991, I used the term all the time. So, but, I haven't used it since being with the same woman since 1991. That's what I think.
To put the quote back up.
Okay.
But I have used Stella.
Yeah. I will throw a question back at El Michelle.
Okay.
Is it offensive for women, for guys to like, if guys would say, hey, look, yeah, she got the good draws, is that offensive to women in this day and time? Is that like, is that
I would think so.
Like such an old.
Yeah.
I was like, man, based on what they said today, ain't nothing offensive. I don't think you can offend
or certain age of brother that's gonna say draws at this point.
Yeah, or even back when you were younger, like would that have been offensive? Yeah,
I mean,
dear chat, ladies, dear ladies
there we
in the
go.
chat.
There's your answer from
She said,
Carol.
hell yes.
Shit, the way they talking now.
Really? I mean, yeah, the way they talking now.
I give me some D. I don't know what.
Exactly. All they songs about taking somebody else's man. So I don't understand.
Okay. So Kim said it's 2:00 and it's avocado toast time.
Avocado toast time. All right.
All right. So let's wrap this up with the quickness. So, and I hear myself doubles. So Celie and Ricky, I can't figure out which one of you is making me. Yeah, thank you. So 47 new songs and 70 studio sessions total so far in 1985. And the 2 songs tracked this week was Call the Wow, also known as 9-5 People, as well as You Got the Good Draws. And then Omar is coming to a city near you. I've talked about Omar relentlessly, so hopefully you understand how important he is from the UK. He doesn't do this very often. Alice Smith also doesn't tour very often. So Alice Smith is coming to DC and now to Philly, 2 shows in Philly at the City Winery, Philadelphia. I got to give a shout out to City Winery because they're bringing the peeps that I love. And then in the Purple World, we talked about this at the beginning of this episode for about 30 minutes. So we're not going to talk for an additional 30 minutes because Kim needs her avocado toast. So we want you to go get your tickets to see Prince Sound of Times. Do what Theo is doing. Bring someone who has never experienced Prince live before to blow their minds. It's so important. We're going to show it twice. And then Dr. Funkenberry's fundraiser is happening tomorrow in Hollywood. So if you haven't got your tickets or you want to support him in any way, if you can't do this, you can support him through his GoFundMe. And then there's also a GoFundMe for Addie Durant. Who is Addie Durant? If you watched or rather listen to the reenactment of the Purple Rain movie on Clubhouse, it's incredible. It's still on Clubhouse as far as I know. That the fans did. She was a huge part of this. So it would be great if you could support Addie. And then Des Dickerson also has a GoFundMe. And Michael Dean is going to take us out.
Oh, we out. We over. Okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
So you know what? Real quick, man.
Okay, wait.
My youngest sister, who is 11 years younger than me, she went to Paisley Park this past week.
Oh, nice.
First time going, man. She loved it. She loved it. You know what I'm saying?
Yay.
You know, man, she's not a diehard like me, but being my younger sister, of course, she heard me playing the stuff growing up. You know, Saturday morning chores. You know, listening to music and stuff, man. You know, I taught her Starfish and Coffee, man, when she was younger, and you know, taught it to my nieces and nephews. You know what I'm saying? And so she went, you know, like to Minneapolis for work, and she took time and to go to Paisley Park, and she enjoyed it. So say that to say, share, you know, man, if anybody that's going, please, you know, go visit, go enjoy it, see it for yourself, experience it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's a wonderful thing. You know what I'm saying? So
no, I like to hear that, man. That's what it's about. Is you went to Minneapolis, you're there on business, you had to go for work, or you just passing through.
Yeah.
You slide through and you visit Paisley Park. We know who Prince was. We salute that brother. You ain't got to be no super fan, but you just go to show respect for what he done brought to the culture. You like some of them songs over the years. Let me go see. You can actually go in his house and see it. Understand. Oh, okay. Yeah. Inspired. And you may not even really be listening to it again, but you got, you got in the spirit of it. You respect it and you salute it. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what we're supposed to do with all our artists. So that's dope to hear that, man. You don't have to be all hardcore. You just man, Prince, we love Prince. Let me go slide through, show love to the family. See this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, with that said, Ricky, thank you. D'Angelo, thank you. Pastor, thank you. Absolutely. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much. Y'all make the show for us.
Yeah, but we got those likes up this week. That's what's up. We got those likes up.
Again, get us to 1,000 views. We're doing Lovesexy cover. We've all agreed to that. We're gonna pull that off.
I don't know, but we agreed.
Yeah. We've all agreed to that.
and I'm gonna call out. We'll get a Mancina on here.
Manisa.
See there we go. I'm gonna call it. I'm on my shot. Was it Shady?
Yeah.
I'm on that.
Shady.
Give me that grace. But with that said, thank y'all for hanging out with us. Man, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Work it like a job. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.
All right. I'm gonna shut it down.
Yeah.
I got you.